Good morning, my fellow pipe smokers. It is a fairly cool December morning here in South Texas. Um, I wanted to review a tobacco that I've been smoking for a while. It is a bulk tobacco by the country Squire called Cowboy Coffee. When I first smoked this blend, I thought there was actual flavoring in it, but I've come to find out that there is not. So it has a unique flavor and smoking profile that I want to go over with you this morning, as well as give you some thoughts that I've had this week about life in general. So let me fire it up and I'll be right back with you. So when I first started smoking this blend, I was new to pipe smoking, and I was simply going through a catalog and saw the name of it and was intrigued by it. And now that I've smoked probably 4 to 6 ounces of the blend, I'm struck by the name. Usually the name is simply marketing, but I thought, well, maybe it could go better with other things. They call it Cowboy Coffee. You're supposed to be drinking it with a cup of coffee, pairing it with a cup of coffee. So I tried that first, and it was great. And then I tried it with other things, ciders. I've got Wellington Reserve. I've got some other bourbons and Irish whiskeys that I like, and tried it with those, and they were all good. But I kept coming back to the coffee, and I'm not sure if it's a psychological thing, just because of the name, and so I'm predisposed to thinking it needs to be linked with coffee. But I've got to tell you, it really, really pairs well with the coffee. In particular, I know I don't normally talk about the coffee, but I was in British Columbia back in the summertime, and as I'm traveling through Canada, I see all these Tim Horton places. Usually here it's Starbucks or any other place I can brew coffee at the house, but I'd really never tried the Tim Hortons coffee, and you know what? It is really, really good. I really enjoy it more so than I do the Starbucks, and so that's pretty much what I exclusively drink now is the Tim Hortons dark roast. I think it looks like I'm going to need a relight. I'll be right back. So the first time that I tried the Cowboy Coffee blend, I thought there was flavoring. I could have sworn there was. It wasn't. It's not that it wasn't. I tasted it and I thought, well, it's not overwhelming, but it's so sweet. It's got such a pleasant taste to it. I love the tobacco taste. So don't get me wrong, but it just had such a sweetness to it that I thought there's got to be something there's got to be some top flavoring they've added to it. And from all the research, there is none. It's just that has that sweet of a flavor to it. So I got to thinking that's why it pairs so well with the coffee. That sweetness of the coffee. I like a little sugar, a little cream in my coffee, and it just really pairs well with that. And it tastes good on its own too. The retrohale is very pleasant. There's no stinging of the nostrils. So it goes really, really well in the morning time as your first bowl. It's about, I don't know, about 7 o'clock in the morning. The older I get, the more I find that I'm getting up at 4:30 or 5 and really can't ever go back to sleep. So what better than to get a cup of coffee and a bowl of tobacco to start your day off right. So some of the things I've been thinking about on this Sunday morning, and then yesterday in particular, I had a great day. Had a great dinner with my wife. We went out to a nice restaurant. We haven't done that in a while, and had some pleasant conversation. And that's kind of the thing that I wanted to talk about this morning. For us guys, right? It is important that we have other male friends. If you're married, you're in a relationship, in my mind, it's not proper to go out and have, friendly relations with women. That's just fraught with peril, right? You don't even want to go there. But you need to have relationships, good godly relationships with male friends that can hold you and you can hold them accountable. And you can have good times whether you play golf or smoke a pipe or a cigar and just kind of hang out and talk together. Do something, right? Have something where you've got some relationships. I have found that earlier in my life, I was, I had friends, but I didn't have some good, close male friends and relationships where we could just talk about life, and just hang out and do guy stuff. And I have found that I really enjoy that as I get older more and more. It's important to have a few close friends that you can kind of hang out with, and you have something in common that you can do together. Looks like I need a relight. I've been talking too much. I'll be right back. So I have my best friend, Steve, and Steve and I worked together professionally, found out that we liked cigars. I moved into pipe tobacco years later. And so we'll go to the cigar pipe shop and hang out and have a couple of smokes together, work together, do business deals together. But more importantly than any of that, we are brothers in Christ together. And it's important. I mean, to have that bond with a fellow brother in Christ, and you can talk about the Word and Jesus and family and your wife and just bounce things off of each other. The Word says that iron sharpens iron, and so we can hold each other accountable so that we're not straying off the mark that Christ gives us. And I find that I have been truer to my faith and truer to myself since I have developed that relationship and those relationships with other guys that are my age. I have a close friend who's my pastor, Pastor Arthur, and he and I were very, very close for years. Separated for about a decade, and now we're close again. So it's important that we have that type of bond. Now back to the tobacco. This is truly a good blend. It is not overwhelming. It is not too strong. So if it's a great, it's a really good all day smoke. But the sweetness of it really ties well, like I said, to the coffee. And I do highly recommend it. You can see that I do retrohale quite a bit. I tend to do that more with tobacco blends that don't sting. If they sting the nostrils, well then that's not pleasant. But this stuff really doesn't do that. It's very pleasant all the way through. It has such a good taste to it. I guess it's the Virginias in there that give it that flavor and give it that pleasant taste. But the Country Squire Cowboy Coffee, thumbs up, highly recommend it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you when I see you. This is the Krusty Codger signing off.